Let's see who was first in. Who's my first? It went bye-bye. All right, when you come in, just let me know who you are, because I can only see how many people are here. I can't tell who is here. Alan, first guy in the room. Congrats. Snaps for you, bud. Who else is here? When you get here, tell me your name so I can see who's here. By the way, Alan, were you the one that had the Army Men channel that I subscribed to? Awesome. Yes, Trinity, I told you you could use calculators on your quiz. All right, so we got William and Alan. Bye-bye, Trinity. Why are there only 3 of us? What's up, man? It's a red person? Yeah, my kids are here, so live and streaming again without any connection problems right now, so let's take advantage of that. First of all, are there any questions about anything from the quiz that you want me to talk about? Any number that you'd like for me to talk about? Hey, Ao. Number 4. All right. So when we're looking at terms in a sequence, we are looking at the position number. All right. So like on number 4, and it's referencing the table above, when it says what is the 12th term in the sequence, it's saying what would, if the position number was 12, what would the value of that term be? Okay. So since on that one, the rule is simply 3n, well, if you want the 12th term in the sequence, it would be 3 times 12. 12 would be that n. So that's how we get 36 for number 4. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Let's talk about number 5 for sure. Some of the people that I know needed to hear this aren't here right now, but we're still going to take advantage of it. 5 and 6 caused problems. I'm going to type for a little bit because I know this connection is going in and out. In number 5, you have points on a graph, which means you have ordered pairs, right? So ordered pairs means you have x and y values. When you have x and y values, then you can figure out an equation. So what are the x and y values? Well, this is where you look on the x-axis to go over 1, and up 10 on the y-axis. So the first ordered pair would be 1, 10. Okay. So if x was 1, how do you get from 1 to 10? You could add 9. But that wouldn't work for all of them. Second ordered pair was was 220. So you can't add 9. So what's another way you go from 1 to 10? You multiply 1 by 10. Would that work for the rest of them? The x value of 2. Remember that an ordered pair, I don't want to assume you know that, but we've talked about it a lot and it shouldn't be anything new. But an ordered pair is your x and then your y value. So if you're given ordered pairs, then you know x times 10 gives you y. 2 times 10 gives you 20. 3 times 10 gives you 30. And your ordered pairs are 110, 220, 330. Why am I at home? Kate, you're miles away from me and you're still just saying random comments while I'm teaching. Oh, Lord. We were talking about number 5. So we're looking at the graph. So if you're ever given a graph with points, all right, then you want to look at the ordered pairs, and then you know your x and your y. So you could set up a table just like the position or the value of the term. But when you're given ordered pairs, you're given x and y values, and you can try to figure out a rule. All right. So we need to stick to math when you're on here. Those side conversations, the new rule. All right. Unless I change the conversation. And Will, you can just, if you want to watch, good for you. You don't need to be in 6th grade. All right. Numbers. Any questions about number 5? Do we get that? In fact, I'm going to give us one that I want you to do. Thank you, Will. I'm going to give you a graph. I'm going to try to make it neat on my little board so that you can see. Make it simple for you. All right, this might be super, super simple, but tell me the equation that you would get that would work for this graph. I'll tell you what, write it, but don't hit enter yet. Don't send it. Type it in the bar. Remember that the equal sign is up by the backspace on your keyboard. So type it in, but don't hit enter yet. Don't send it. I'll count to 3. And if you have an answer, then send it. And we'll see. Oh, my God. Riley. Maybe it's lagging and you didn't hear me. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But I said don't hit enter yet. But maybe she's wrong. We'll see if y'all agree or disagree. Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right, well, how about this? Somebody give me the first ordered pair that you would have. It's that good. What's the first ordered pair? $3.15. Good. So what we look and we see that it's getting bigger. So what could we do to 3? You could add 12, but as you guys know, it's rarely the answer. Could we, for this next one, could we add 12 to 4 and get 20? Negative. So the next order pair is 420. The next order pair would be 325. So you're going to have to, how else could you get from 3 to 15? you multiply by 5. And that's what you would do for all of them. So your actual equation would be exactly how Riley typed it, y equals 5x. All right? Or 5n, 5 whatever. Okay? So if there's one like that and it does not have multiple choice, I expect y'all to know how to do that. Okay? Just find your ordered pair first and then see how you would go from x to y. And then find your second ordered pair and see if that rule would work for the second one. If not, go back to the drawing board. All right? All right. Number 6 we're going to go over because this one was one that was commonly missed. All right. Think about this. It says admission to the county fair is $5. It costs an additional 50 cents for each. Whenever you see for each, that is going to be a big clue. It says which equation represents the cost of going to the fair and buying any number of ride tickets. Now, a lot of people were putting I. Thank you, AO. You only go to the fair once. You only go into it once. You ride rides a lot, right? So when you put 5T, that's saying you're paying $5 for admissions over and over and over again. Okay? Yeah. Good job, William. All right. So if you put I, you're saying 5 times T. You're saying that you're going to pay lots of times for the admission. But when it says 50 cents for each, well, we don't know how many times you're going to ride it, but it could be 3. So it'd be 50 cents times 3. Or if it was 7, it'd be 50 cents times 7. But since we don't know, we have a variable. So it'd be 50 cents times T. So the only one that has that is F and G, but F doesn't have the price to get in. So the price to get in is $5. So you're paying 50 cents per ride, 50 cents T, plus the $5. So you should have your quiz in front of you too, just so this makes a lot more sense. But it's 50 cents per ride, plus you have to pay $5 to get in. All right? They didn't ask you how many times you're going to go to the fair. So let me give you all another one like that, since that one was one of the most commonly missed questions. Let's see. Let's say you're ordering pizza. I have not eaten today. I'm getting hungry. I'll type this problem in, okay? I thought it was frozen. I thought you couldn't see that. You have to pay a $4.95 delivery fee. Give me an equation for that. So I'm going to send you this problem. Don't send an answer yet. I will count to 3 and you hit send. What is in? Do I even want to know? Laugh my. I'm going to assume you're saying nose off. All right, read that problem. If it gets glitchy, like I said, just we'll continue to talk through the chat. Read that problem, type in your equation, don't send it. I will count to 3 when I think everyone's had time, and then you'll hit send. B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G. Sorry, my kids are watching YouTube. Yeah, that was free. You got that for free. All right, hopefully you've had enough time to write this, so we'll go on the count of 3, hit send. 1, 2, 3, send. In case it's lagging. So we got 3 submissions and 3 different answers. Something to talk about with all of these. Bella is the most accurate so far. Sorry that there is lag. It's all right. We're going to muscle through it. All right, I'm going to tell you what I think the best answer is, and you'll see why I think Bella has the best answer. Snaps for Bella. All right. There you go, Elizabeth. No. All right, let's look at this again. All right. It's per pizza. The pizza cost. Wait, let me look back up at Bella's. Oh. Yeah. What did I say? Let me read my problem again. It says $10 for each pizza. So, Elizabeth, no, you didn't. Oh, I got it wrong. That's what's confusing me. It's $10 for each pizza. I was thinking I did $4.95. Couldn't see it anymore. All right, Kate, seriously, stop with the randomness. We got to stay focused here. So if it's $10 per pizza, then it's going to be y equals 10 times any number of pizza plus there's a $4.95 delivery fee. So it would be y equals 10n plus 4.95. All right. Because whenever you have each, and I said $10 for each pizza, then that's where you're going to put your variable, 10n. Whenever it says you have a delivery fee or an entry fee, that's just going to be on top of it. So you add that to the cost. All right. So some of y'all put what looked correct, but it was just in an expression. It wasn't an equation. Some of you just said it was $10. Alan, you put 10. I don't know if you accidentally left out your variable. You put 10 plus 4.95. Well, we need to know an equation for any amount of pizza. Money sign on a quiz? Nah. That's all right. Yes, the N next to the 10. Let's do one more like that. Come here, bud. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, let's try one more. Let's say, So we're talking about ones like number 6, Addie. Ones where you have to create an equation from a word problem. So let's say a movie theater has popcorn for $4.50 and it costs $12 to get into the movie. Write an equation for how much you will spend if you buy any number of popcorn, any number of servings. All right. Come on. Oh, so the answer to that one would have been G, and we talked about it. So since you missed it, you can just go back. I don't want to restate it for everyone, but you can just go back in the video later. It'll be on here. You can hear what I was saying about number 6. But for now, let's look at this one. And hopefully everyone got I sent you the feedback on your quiz. Hopefully you got what I all right. I'm going to type it in this time. 1, 3. Okay, Riley has an answer that is correct. I'm not sure where she got the variable D, but I'll take it. There you go, Alan. William, you forgot your. You know what? William is a little sneaky thief, and he doesn't pay for his movies. He thinks if I pay for popcorn, that's fair. So he sneaks into the movie and doesn't pay for the cost of the film. So that's just typical William. For dollars, $4.50. All right, that's fine. I would put like P for popcorn or S for servings or whatever. All right, so Addie, you put 12x, and that was what I was seeing a lot of people doing on number 6. They were putting 5t. You don't have to pay for multiple movies. I said to get into the movie, it was $12. For any number of servings of popcorn, it was $4.50 each. All right. I don't have one after this, so I don't mind staying on a little longer, but we have until technically 11:50. All right. We might can do some more of those later, but I want to move on so that we can get to some other ones that people missed. Any on the back pages that you want me to talk about, numbers 7 through 16, or 7 through 17, sorry. Any requests for me to talk about any problems on the back before I just start picking some. Let's see, 10. Let's look at 10. Which of the following is a solution of the inequality y minus 5 is greater than or equal to 8? I'll do all of these that we want. All right, so let's start with 10. That was the first one I saw. It says y minus 5 is greater than or equal to 8. All right, so remember, we treat it just like an equation. So this is a one-step equation, only it's an inequality. So you still do the addition property of equality because it's telling you to subtract. And when you have variables, you do the opposite. So we're left with y, because the whole point of doing the opposite is to get the variable isolated. Some of y'all switched the signs. Some of y'all forgot that you had to be greater than. So if y is greater than or equal to 13, well, let's go backwards. I is 8. 8 is not greater than or equal to 13. 10 is not greater than or equal to 13. 12 is not greater than or equal to 13. 15 is the only option that is greater than or equal to 15. If you accidentally subtracted 5 and got y is greater than or equal to 3, you would know something's up because all of those answers would have worked. All right, so number 10, you would just solve it normally and say which one is greater than or equal to 13. All right. Like I said, I don't mind staying on longer than the time that we were given because I don't have anything after this except for to record the videos for tomorrow for the classes I have to teach. So we'll after 11:50, if you're done and you think you're good, you can sign off. Otherwise, I'll stay on and help. All right. Let's go to number 7. Addie wants number 7. It says, which equation can be used to find t, the total amount Malia will earn after babysitting H hours? So we know it says to find t. That means we want t to be on one side by itself. Okay? So if it says to find L or to find X or whatever, then we want to find that by itself. So it says the number, the amount she'll earn after babysitting for any number of hours. Well, like I said in class, give this if she earns $5 per hour, then give H a value, say 3. So for 3 hours, that is 5 plus 5 plus 5, right? So that's 3 times 5. You'd get 15. So you're taking however many hours, H, and multiplying that by 5. And the answer would be D. All right, 5 hours. And then you'd figure out T. All right. A, whenever it says H, you would know that's talking about hours. So A and C are saying how many hours if, so you're telling me that if you worked 12 hours babysitting, then you would make $17. I wouldn't do that. And that's not what she did. She got $5 per hour. So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, give some of these variables some values. Play it out in your mind, some hypothetical situations. Okay? All right. Let's move to number 12. Which inequality is graphed below? Well, the arrow is going that way. So we're looking for that symbol since the variable's on the left on all of these examples, then the inequality sign should be the same as our arrow. So we want it to be this. Well, that mouth is eating the left. That narrows it down to B and D. B and D are the only ones that have it going the mouth eating the left. And again, because it says greater than, so greater than goes to the right. Now, is it this or this? Remember, we did questions like this in class. Well, the dot is open, which means it's not equal to. Which one means equal to? This one, and it's not equal to. So we're going to go with the only option that had the arrow facing that way and wasn't equal to, which was H. It was T is greater than 2. It means that any option, any number infinitely over 2 could be your solution. All right. So whichever way the arrow is going is the way the arrow should be going in the inequality. And if it's open circle, it's not equal to, so there should be no line on the bottom. It's alone. It's open. All right. If you still have questions on any of these, let me know. All right, we're going to go in order from here on, so we'll get to 14 in a second. Let's do 13 because a couple people asked for 13. It says Zachary can spend at most $100 on new clothes. Which inequality represents the situation? So like I said, so a lot of y'all put like D, which would have meant that he could have spent an infinite amount of money on clothes. That's not the case. So you have to think of what at most $100 is. If your mom said, so put yourself in these positions. If your mom said, you can go to the mall and spend at most $100. Well, you would know I can spend $100 or less. So the amount I spend, the total, should be equal to 100 or less. So 100 needs to be the greatest. It's at most 100. And then plug in a value. What if you spent $75? Would $75 work in this scenario? Yes, 100 is greater than 75. All right. If you gave it a value of 150, is that less than or equal to 100? I was talking to Alan's mom this morning, and she called this, what we've talked about in class, she called it the dummy test, which I loved. All right. It's just being really sure before you submit an answer that you're correct. You just put in a dummy answer, a fake answer. You put in something, and this does not work. And since we know it needs to be less than or equal to 100, this is our final solution, which was G. Sorry, C in number 13. All right. Does that make sense? I hope this is making sense. I hope this isn't lagging too much. I haven't seen it go out yet, so. All right. Cool. Thanks, Finn. All right, number 14. Number 14 says, which of the following inequalities has the solution shown below? All right. This is where, especially on multiple choice, we should be able to use process of elimination. Sorry, I know that window's bright, so I'm going to try to move it. Process of elimination. It's an open circle, which means if it has the line, it's wrong. There's only going to be a certain amount of options, right? It's either going to be greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, less than or greater than. So since it's an open circle, we can eliminate these. Now, the arrow is going this way, so we're looking for a sign that looks like that. Can y'all spot the sign that looks like that? I feel like I'm on Blue's Clues. That's right. This one. Good job. All right. So which one has a less than sign on number 14? Well, only G. Only G has this sign. So that's the only one that I would choose. Now, if there was not multiple choice, well, you could still say my answer needs to have this. So it's going to be less than 4. X is less than 4. Now, it didn't give you that option, right? It gave you different problems that you would have to solve, like 2x. So since we know the right sign, we can check by saying, oh, it's a multiplication inequality. See, Alan, we would divide by 2, and we would get x is less than 4. So we know that G was the correct answer for number 14. Before I move on to do another one, does anybody have any questions about the ones I've done that you just don't understand? In fact, I'm gonna draw you a graph, and you're gonna write the inequality that would represent it. All right. Just to practice. Bless you, Raylan. All right, if this said to write an inequality to represent this graph, what would you put? Don't send the answer yet. Just write it. In fact, you don't even have to send it. You're allowed to leave now because it's 11:50. If you still need help and you still want to do some practice for the test, this is, I mean, whatever you got for your quiz grade, that is your grade right now. So we've had no homework or anything else. Then you're going to have a test grade. And if you don't do well, then it's going to be really hard to pick it up from here. And the test is not going to be as simple as this all multiple choice quiz. So we're just going to finish reviewing it. If you want to stay for that, then good. Yeah. All right. So what did you come up with? If you have an answer and you want to tell me, go ahead and tell me. Let's see. Well, how would you do the inequality? Oh, yeah, you have the inequality signs to the right of the M if you wanted to type in your answer. But, you know, it's going to be X. We can use X or any variable. And William says that that it's going to be less than, and Kate says greater than. Well, the mouth, let's look. The arrow is that way, so our inequality is going to be this way. Now, are we going to have the equal to sign? Yes. All right. Yeah, I guess there's no way to do or equal to, so that's tough. But it is going to be equal to because it's filled in. If the dot is filled in, then you're going to say it's equal to. And then it's on 5, so that's the end of that. Right? So it's less than or equal to. Plus, you can see that the numbers are getting less than 5. So there's another clue. All right? It's going to be X is less than or equal to 5. All right. You're going to have to graph some on the test. So let's do one practice like that. I'm going to give you an inequality and you graph it. Well, actually, let me answer before we do that. Someone said to do which ones? 17. We'll do 17 for Addie. 17 says X over 8 is less than 8. All right, several people missed this one. Fractions are what? If you see a fraction, fractions are division. Hey, Raylan. Shh. All right. If it's division, then how do you solve a division inequality? Good. You're going to multiply. Good job. So I write that by just putting the number next to it in parentheses. And by doing that, it's going to cross cancel. The whole point of doing the operation was to get the x by itself, and then 8 times 8 is 64. The symbol stays the same side, so the only ones that have 64 are A and B, but A has the symbol facing this way, which is not correct. So we'd go with B here. All right. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'll be done unless anyone asks me any specific questions. All right. First, I'm going to give you one just like 17, and then I'm going to give you an inequality, and I want you to graph it, and then I'll show you the answer and see if you were correct or not. You can see. I can't see. All right. So what if we had something like, make it a little challenging and throw a decimal in there. So we have 30 is less than x over 2.5. That's a 5, and that's a 2. How would you solve that one? Okay, I think I've given you enough time. It's division, so we're solving with the opposite, multiplication. Sorry, Bella. But the fact that you were looking means hopefully you finished the math. All right, we're going to multiply this by 2.5, and we get 0, 15, 0, 0, 6. So we should get 75. So we get 75. Leave the inequality sign the same direction. And it would be 75 is less than x, or x is greater than 75. So not 30 greater than 75. X is greater than 75. Yep. All right. All right, I'm going to give you, for this last one, I'm going to give you an inequality, and I want you to graph it. Hopefully you have paper or something next to you. Okay. Let's do, in fact, I'm going to give you 2. All right. We'll say, all right. See if y'all can graph those. I'm going to give you all a minute to do that. Now that's creepy. Yes, on a line. Yep, graph it. All right, thanks, Finn. Take care, bud. Sorry, I could do that all day. Give y'all just a little bit more time. I know you had to create a line and all that. Don't what? Same. All right, while you're finishing up, if you are, I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines. And I need 8, 2, 1. What the? 0, 3, 4. Sorry, mine's super messy. But you get the deal. All right, so I know that I'm going to have dots on 8 and 2. Now, is it going to be filled in or open? That's the question. For this one, are we going to fill it in or leave it open? What do you think? Fill? Bella says fill. I hope we all agree. Open. William. Okay, thank goodness. We're going to fill it in because it's equal to. Now, the variable's on the left, and so we can just look at the arrow. And plus, if we know how to read an inequality, it says x is less than or equal to. Which way is less than? Left. So your arrow should have been going this way. All right. And then for this one, is it going to be open or closed? It's going to be open because there is no equal sign down here. And if you know how to read it, it says x is greater than 2. So greater is to the right, plus the variables on this side. So we can just look at the arrow. It's greater than. So your arrow is going to go to the right. That is hideously ugly. Sorry, it's hard to hold a whiteboard and write on it. And plus, I'm looking at it as a mirror in my image. But you get the idea. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting on hit the mark. You're right. Some of y'all had awesome work, by the way. I'm impressed with how much time y'all spent on your work for being at home. Now, you guys have been on 10 minutes longer than you had to be, except Addie, who came in a little late. But I'm willing to, if you want me to do any more problems like any others on the quiz, let me know, and I'll still do it. Are there any problems from the quiz that you would like me to do? Make up a problem that's like that one. Can we do something like 17? We just did a minute ago, but we can do that again. All right, so one like 17. Let's see. It's with a fraction. Elizabeth, are you saying you want to do one like that one? Like number 6? Yeah, we'll do one like that as well. And we can do some like 2 and 3 as well, too. God, that light in the back, I'm sorry. It's making it look bad. All right. You got answers for this? Yeah, go ahead. All right, so it's going to be not equal to 140, but it's going to be x is less than or equal to 140. We're just going to multiply both sides by 20. Instead of dividing x by 20, we're multiplying it by 20. That's a smart way of doing it, William. Put the equal sign underneath it or before the less than. Smart. Yeah, I know that's what you meant. Just make sure you do that on a quiz or test. Like I said, if it's not multiple choice, then you're going to have to put that. And I can see a lot of people putting equals, and I would have to take off credit. But you're going to get a 3-hour window. So technically, you could spend that much time going over it tomorrow. Or, yeah, tomorrow's when you take the test. All right. Okie dokie. Let's see. What was 2 and 3? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm going to do, it's going to be a window of 9 to 12 for test, just like it was your quiz. All right. What if we had... All right. So let's say we're given a chart like this. We have roaches and eggs. All right. So when there are 4 roaches, there are 12 eggs. When there are 6 roaches, there are 18 eggs, and so on. So what if the question was how... yeah, I know. How many roaches with 45 eggs? I ran out of room. Yeah, good. It's what it's supposed to be. Like, feels like you're in my class. Good. All right. So if this was our chart and I asked how many roaches with 45 eggs, I know that's horrible writing. It's so hard to write on this board. How could you figure that out? Do you see the rule for this yet? Times 4? 4 times 4 is not going to give you 12. 4 times 6 is not going to give you 18. What's the rule? William, you're correct, and we'll get to why in a second. Plus 6? Come on, people. 4 times what is 12? 6 times what is 18? You guys are scaring me. Four times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. Wake up. There we go. It's 3x. The rule is 3x, or times 3. So 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18, 8 times 3 is 24, 10 times 3 is 30, right? So it says, it didn't say how many eggs if there were 45 roaches. It says how many roaches with 45 eggs. So if we know that the rule is x, 3x equals 45. So instead of multiplying by 3 to get our answer, we're going to have to go backwards. We're going from y to x. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. And then x would give you 15. So if there were 15 roaches, 15 times 3 is 45. So you would say, well, what times 3 would give me 45? Or divide 45 by 3. Okay. Hope that makes sense. And all of this is obviously going to be recorded, so if you need to go back and look at any of this, feel free to. All right. Last problem, all right? Last problem, because then we'll be on here an hour, and you guys have been doing good work. We're going to do one like Lizzie said. So the answer to number 2 was F. It was 6, because if you have 48, the rule was 8x in number 2. So if you have 48 buns, you would divide that by 8 to get 6. All right, see you, Bella. All right, we're going to do one more for the type of question that Gracie, that Elizabeth said. So I'll type it in this time. You. All right, let's say we have, we'll say Lizzie gave 5 or got $5 from each of her friends. Then she gave away $3 to her mom. Write an equation to find. You can go back, Addie. I hate to make you do that, but you can go back on the video at the beginning, and I go through 3 and 5 in detail. Okay, that way I don't have to go over it again. And plus, I emailed you the answers to those. Write an equation to find much money she had given any number of friends. She got $5 from each of her friends. Then she gave away $3 to her mom. Write an equation to find out how much money she had given any number of friends. I wrote it, Kate. One second, I'm responding to Miss Sockhill. All right. So $5 from each of her friends, that would be 5x or 5n or 5d. And then she gave away, what operation does that make you think of? William got it. It's subtraction. So it'd be -3. And that's how much money she would have. There you go. All right. I think y'all will be good. All right, you bet, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. You guys were here for over an hour, so good job. Is everything else going okay with the other classes? Remember, don't be too stressed. The teachers are stressed out as much as you are. Trust me. All right, what do you mean you can't find where you said? So I emailed you what you got on your quiz and each of your mistakes and how you find the actual answer. So check your RenWeb email. And like I said, you can go back on this video when I'm done. When I hit end stream, you can go back and watch it again and get the answers for 3 and 5. All right. You guys got this. Keep it up. You guys are working hard. Adios. See you later.